Hey, welcome back to the channel. If you don't know who I am, it's probably because I'm wearing my studious glasses today, but I'm Richie with Raw Tactics. I'd like to welcome you to the channel, and you probably are new because our last two videos have gained us over 1,000 followers, so thank you so much for being a part of the channel here today. I hope you guys enjoy what we're about to put out. We're gonna be going over some...
Hey Richie, hey buddy, hold on. You guess what time it is?
Ah, damn it, what?
It is comment time, buddy. YouTube comment time, let's go.
All right, go ahead.
So we're gonna dive into a couple questions here from the past couple videos. So from the support hand drill video, GBLUE GBlue78 says, great stuff as always. Love your content.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you so much. That's, whew, wasn't sure about to say there, but it's a breath of fresh air. Thank you so much for that. Thank you for the support. Keep subscribing. Shut up.
We've got @Miles267. He says, this video was too good not to subscribe right away.
Too good not to subscribe right away. You guys are too kind, man. Thank you. I mean, too good not to subscribe right away. Like, I wish everyone's in that mindset. I mean, kind of a little bit of a brown noser if you ask me, but you know, well, but I appreciate it, but thank you so much.
Speaking of brown, we got Eric Brown 7523 here. He says, now we know why you don't have any sponsors.
Oh, all right. Okay. Listen, when I say we don't have any sponsors yet, I'm just looking for someone to help us pay for this channel, okay? We work with Safariland, Hot Munitions, Core Essential Belts. I'm probably missing somebody there, but we have sponsors who hook us up with stuff. It's just, I'm looking for something. It's all right. I mean, now, all right, I'm a little upset, but all right, well, anything else?
Yeah, shrug it off, here we go. So from the Walther vs. Staccato video, one of our biggest videos, @David Brown JT7YI says, I did not know, quote unquote, low ready was 1 inch below the target line.
Okay, so, all right.
It does say good video though.
Okay, thank you for saying good video. I appreciate it. All right, so listen, low ready, okay, I'm not gonna be pointing at your damn feet if it's low ready. I'm sick of freaking keyboard warriors out there, like low ready, I'm gonna be pointing at my own goddamn feet and pointing, you're like, listen, if I'm pointing like this or I'm pointing like this, is there any difference on what there is no difference. I'm pointing at the waistline, quicker point between A and B. If I'm pointing at you, I might as well be pointing at a waistline. Low ready is at the waistline of your bad guy, over your optics, over your sights, okay? All right, so what we have next for you guys is we're bringing out one of our firearms instructors with Raw Tactics. His name is Eric. He's gonna be using some resistance bands. You don't have to use them just in the gym, you can use them on the range, and he's gonna help me with my presentation and my grip using these resistance bands. Phenomenal stuff. Stay tuned and tell us what you think.
Hey, I'm Eric Cobb. Today we're going to be looking at some brain science related to shooting. If you are not familiar, which virtually no one is, about bringing neurology and modern sports science into shooting, this is what we're here to do. In my other life, when I'm not out here trying to learn from this guy, I run a company, and our primary job is teaching doctors, coaches, and therapists about brain science and how that applies to pain rehab and sports performance. I've worked with about 300 Olympic and world champion athletes, and I love showing people how to practically bridge the gap between something as simple as like a resistance band and being better on the range. So we're gonna do a couple of things here to help him figure out how to smooth out the presentation and make it as accurate as possible. So we're gonna start off with an assessment. This is something you're gonna need to do on yourself. So we're gonna start at 5.
So it has nothing to do with this today.
If it was about that today, I would have worn a tighter shirt.
Listen, okay, I'm carrying a little holiday weight, all right?
You're looking good. So we're gonna shoot 5 rounds at 5, and we're just gonna see, put you on maybe on a timer.
Okay.
And we will see kind of his speed. We'll look at the shot placement, and then we're gonna talk about the common issues that people have with their presentation, especially for right-handed shooter, that low left group. We're gonna show you how to use something called error augmentation, which is a cool word for make the error worse to make yourself better automatically.
All right.
All right,
let's
ready?
do it.
All right, guys, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna have Richie shoot 5 rounds. This is a super basic assessment. You may need to do longer. If I'm working with a new athlete, I'll say, hey, we're gonna have you shoot for 5 to 10 minutes because I wanna see what you're doing on a regular basis. But right now, grab your camera. If you have an opportunity, set it up on a tripod. You're gonna wanna watch yourself from 90 degrees. And if possible, dry firing, you wanna watch yourself from the actual presentation perspective. Because here's what we wanna see. If I'm watching him from 90 and he's not got a nice stable base, whenever he comes up and shoots, I may see some backward leaning. We see this all the time, especially people if they're in a kind of a neutral isosceles stance. What we want to be aware of is when they're drawing or on the actual shot, does the body go backwards? If we see that, we're gonna have to take note of that because we need to fix it. And then from there, we're gonna see his shot placement. Obviously, most of us who are right-handed, if we're shooting two-handed, we draw, we come across, and because we like to drive that right arm across the body because we're a big X, the way our right arm works with our left leg, we often will drive the shots left and typically low. Even if you're a really good shooter, it's whenever we put you under time pressure and you go fast, we'll still see that because of our dominance. So we're gonna show you again some ways to use the brain to fix that, but first we have to diagnose. So let's see what we got here.
All right. So what we're doing is draw on one shot.
Yep, drawing one shot on the timer.
All right, let me make sure everything's good to go here. All right.
Shooter ready?
Yep.
All right, 106. Shooter ready. .96. Shooter ready. 101. Shooter ready.
No left hand on that one.
Okay. .85. Ready? Excellent. Okay. .89. Nick, can you swing around and take a look at the target here?
This was the .85 where I
Yep.
said there was no left hand.
This is exactly what we're talking about. Sometimes when we try to push our limits, right? We're trying to right at that red line speed. That's when we'll start to see things throwing stuff left. We got two. Everything's A zone here other than this one. We're throwing that just a little bit low and left. So we have 3 left. We've got 2 like ideal shots. Everything was roughly 1 second or less. So really good shooting. But now the question is, can we make it a little bit better?
Yes.
If you get a chance to slow it down, you can go back and watch. On that .85, where we were left, his back, on the draw, he actually leaned up a little bit and his head came up just a little bit. As a coach, especially with a good shooter, you're looking for these kind of subtleties. And this is stuff that you have to figure out. How do I help his brain figure this out without me talking him to death? As coaches, we talk too much and have their brain learn too little. And this is super important because whenever you're doing something that's about fine motor control, there's a lot of areas of our brain that do 2 things. Number one, they predict what you're about to do, and then they solve problems, but they can solve problems unconsciously if we exaggerate the problem. So that's what we're gonna show you guys how to do next whenever we use the bands. All right, so again, in sports science, it's called error augmentation. Simple idea, make the error worse so that their brain has to figure out how to fix it. One of the easiest ways to do this, particularly for that left grouping or that low left shooting, is we want to add some resistance, and we're going to actually pull Richie into the mistake. So if he, just use your air gun for me, if he draws out and starting to drive toward the target, and we know that the shot is breaking left and slightly low, then I'm going to use a resistance band, and I'm going to pull him further left and further low. Then, as he's now going to be doing some repetitions with the firearm, his brain's going to automatically going to go, okay, I don't actually want to be over there, so how do I fix it? And it will start to adjust posture, it'll start to adjust muscle tension, it'll do all that automatically. One of your big decisions to make is what size band to use. Big guy, use a bigger band. It doesn't have to be a lot of resistance because this is not strength training. All right, please, this is not, a pec fly. We're just trying to make his brain aware, so you don't have to go with the giant one. I brought this out here. Maybe there's some 400-pound guys on the channel.
Yeah, medium ones.
But we'll go with medium for him.
Yeah.
First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna work on his left arm. His left arm's gonna be out, and I'm gonna actually place this typically around the elbow. Go ahead and draw your firearm. We're gonna go to a compressed ready, all right? Now, what we're gonna do first is I'm gonna give him some pressure into that left arm. He's gonna just drive out to his shooting position, and he's gonna give me feedback. Like that feel?
That feels good. I
feel like some resistance?
Yeah, I definitely have to drive it, and the
Okay.
dot is getting centered pretty much every time. So I'm
Okay.
forcing my left arm to come to the right here.
All right, fantastic. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna have him do 3 rounds, all right, your own pace. 1 round, come back to compress ready, 2nd round, and I'm just gonna stay here and give him consistent resistance.
All right, here we go.
Great, all right. Now, if you guys noticed, he had to actually adjust his posture a little bit. He had to adjust his foot position. That's because this additional resistance is causing him to wind, and he's like, oh shit, I gotta fix that. Now, Target looks really, really good. Hey, you can shut up. Target looks really, really good right now. How did that feel as far as the presentation?
Presentation felt good. The one where I had to adjust myself, like you said, I felt like I was really getting pulled, so I was like, I got to keep my base a little bit more steady in order for me to have that nice balanced posture for that presentation.
Okay, perfect. Now, I could have messed that up as a coach. I might have been giving him too much resistance. So this has got to be a conversation. All it comes down to is he getting the dot on the target as he fires the shot? Now, we just did 3 rounds. In a typical session of air augmentation, you would do 3 errors, and then you would have him shoot 5 to 10 regular rounds. And then you would just repeat that cycle 5 to 7 times. You're not gonna do 50 straight rounds with a band on because your brain's gonna start to overcompensate. Like when you're standing in the doorway when you're 5 years old pressing in and then you step out and your arms fly up. You can do that if you over-exaggerate the use of the band. But this is a fantastic way for his brain, like I said, to figure out what to do. So let's have you run it again without the band.
Compressed ready?
Let's do compressed ready. And the big thing I want now is feedback as coach. He's gonna take 2 shots on his own and he's gonna tell me what happens in the presentation.
All right, here we go. Whew. I did feel like, so I started doing like the body was an X, and I felt like there was like a magnet pulling me over to the right, and that's why that first one I was like, oh, it's moving on its own. Because my I don't know why, you're the brain doctor, but it was like naturally pulling me back over to where I drew, and I was like, oh, I didn't even see my dot, and then it pulled me back over naturally, and I was like, oh, there it is right there. And then the second one was a little bit more on
That's
point.
exactly what we want, all right? He's gonna get that kind of weird sensation. So what we'll do is we'll do 2 more reps from compressed ready. But this time, actually, I'm going to ask him a question first. When you feel, on the presentation, do you feel like it's an overdrive of your right arm or an underdrive of your left?
I think it's an underdrive of my left.
Okay, so if he's saying it's underdrive of the left, I'd stay on his left arm. But you may have people who feel like they are just so dominant with that right arm that they actually need the band looped on the other side. So again, show me your finger gun. I can also run the drill like this, right? So he can go from compressed ready, both arms, and driving out. And in both cases, you just have to make sure the band doesn't slip off too much. And this allows us to figure out, is it right arm, is it left arm? Where does he need the feedback the most?
Yeah.
All right. So let's do 2 reps with your left arm.
Okay.
Compress ready, you'll actually shoot, and then we'll do the timed.
All right.
All right. So again, give me feedback on the pressure.
All right, that's good pressure.
Good pressure there. Okay, on your own. Perfect.
All right.
Okay. Gonna holster up. All right, you ready to try it?
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll put him on the timer again.
Holster
Let's
or?
go from holster this
Okay.
time. All right. Here's proofs in the pudding. Here we go. Ready? Perfect shot, 0.86. And how was the sight picture?
It was perfect.
Perfect.
It was perfect.
So
Like,
guys,
nothing else. It was
that's
perfect.
the mystery of brains. You don't have to talk them to death. Help them figure out what's going on with them and help them figure out the errors utilizing something like this. And you'd be shocked at how quickly you can start to solve habitual shooting problems that have bothered people for years.
It's like you're a brain doctor or something.
It is almost like I'm a brain doctor.
All right, so Eric, not everyone's going to have a fancy brain doctor to help them, or they can't come to our classes where you're helping assist and everything else. So can I do this on my own?
Absolutely. So yeah, I'm a kind of solo practice guy myself, so there's a lot of ways you can kind of tie yourself up with a band, not in a weird way, by the way.
Damn it.
So out at the range, here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna want a slightly thinner one, all right? Because you're gonna wrap it. So I'm just gonna have you take that.
Okay.
Step on it with your right heel.
All
So
right.
you're gonna have it behind you. You're gonna catch it with the right heel. Now from here, pass it behind your back.
Yep.
And you're gonna wrap it over your left shoulder. There we go, perfect. All right, so now what this band is basically doing is it's not quite the same as the elbow contact, but it's still gonna be trying to rotate him to the left, and you can feel it. So if you get that particular setup, now you can run your 3 to 5, drop it down on the ground, and then back to your normal shooting. So this is one of the easiest ways I found, so you don't have to pull your truck back here and hook a band to it. All it takes really is 2 bands in your feet, and you're pretty much good to go to do this kind of practice on your own.
Nice. All right, so Eric, phenomenal stuff as always. Thank you so much for coming out. That
brother.
stuff, like, yeah, I was going to shake your hand. So
I don't know.
listen to me, like instructional tools, like for me, I've always, when he first started introducing him, I was like, I don't know, man. He's got I don't need to look like, you know, Kevin Costner in Tin Cup when he's wearing that headband with the ball, trying to fix his shank on his golf swing and all these back braces and like Forrest Gump and all that other type of stuff. But he showed me this band stuff and I was like, I'm 100% in on this. Whether you're leaning forward, leaning back, can't get your left hand on the gun soon enough, this stuff 100% helps, and I know that for a fact. So thank you again so much for doing that. The proof in the shots over here are great. That was our bad one. Then everything else just stayed right there. So phenomenal job. You can check this stuff out when you come to our classes. Okay, we're going to incorporate in some of our firearm classes the band work, especially when Eric's out there. We'll be running some group stuff. Then he's going to take you one-on-one to the other side of the range, and he's going to work on you with the bands to help you get a little bit better as well. Check out our website, rawtactics.com. If you want to host a class and bring us out, all the information is on the website under the Host a Class tab. Like, subscribe, comment, and thanks again.
Thanks, brother.
And we will see you next time. Stay safe.